I'm James Demer, the audio nomad, and today we're going to talk about the XENNS Mangird Tea PRO. I bought the first tea, the Mangird tea, I don't know, it was maybe 4 years ago, and they were a great set. They actually sounded really good. They never fit my ears right. I couldn't get them to stay in my ears. They kept falling out. It was a weird nozzle shape, a weird shell shape, and I sold them. Wasn't the biggest fan because of a shape, was a big fan because of a sound. So with some slight trepidation, I received from Linsoul the XENNS Mangird Tea PRO, or the XENNS Tea PRO. Put some tips on them, put them in my ears, hooked them up to my Apple dongle, and was instantly blown away. Wow, these things are special. The bass impact just shook me to my core. I haven't had an IEM impact me in such a way in a very, very long time. The XENNS Mangird Tea PRO, the Tea PRO, we're going to call them the Tea PRO from now on, come in a really, really nice packaging. I generally don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about or maybe talking about packaging because it doesn't mean as much to me as it does to some people. And I do appreciate people who love great packaging and love great unboxing experiences. I think for me, I'm just so anxious to get to the product that I don't think about it as much as maybe others do. But this is a really nice package. First of all, the color is this beautiful kind of a, I don't know, I guess it's a mix between a robin's egg and a sky blue with this kind of gold lame X and kind of a nice artful pattern down here. And it's an interesting box because it opens, I don't know what you call it, but it's cool. So when you open the little flaps, there's I guess you'd call it an envelope, and there's some sort of documentation on the inside. I guess it's basically instructions. It talks about how to attach the ear tip, how to attach the cable, and then how to put it in your ear. But then you get to the interesting case, which is a continuation of the box. It's a nice sort of printed pattern that looks like it's been painted, and a fun little zipper opening box. It looks like like a hat pill box of yore. Very reminiscent of old cosmetic cases, maybe from the 60s and 70s. It's kind of fun. It's a gold zipper. And the IEM pouch is I guess it's sort of like a thick velour. It's like a shag velour. And it says XENNS on the side and it has two little pulls. I dig it. I think it's very cool. They clearly thought about packaging when they put this thing together, and I like it. There's a nice box that says accessories area. And when you open it up, you find a set of tips. We've got small, medium, and large silicone tips, small and medium foam tips. I like foam tips. I always try all the tips when I'm playing with different IEMs because I think tips can make one of the biggest differences. I would say first IEM, second tips, third source, fifth, a distant fifth, I'd say cable. Doesn't generally make a difference for me, but you get those tips. One thing that was interesting is and maybe this is because I got maybe one of the first models, but there's another XENNS ear tips little tray or carrying card, and the tips that are supposed to go on that were not, they were just kind of shoved in the box. They're also silicone tips. I think maybe a little bit firmer than the black ones. These are the sort of clear white ones. And then the last thing in the box is this. It's a qualified certificate, and it's something that says that it's passed quality control, which I think makes me feel good. But generally speaking, I think high-end Chinese products are made to exacting specifications. And I think any American who would visit a Chinese precision manufacturing facility would be surprised at how advanced, precise, clean, and thoughtful these I even hesitate to call it a factory. I'd call it a laboratory. I think these laboratories who are building these IEMs in China really know what they're doing, and they produce exceptional products. I actually worked briefly for 64 Audio, and their setup is second to none. Also very precise, very clean and modern. But the factories that I visited, the laboratories that I visited in China, I would say equal or surpass 64 Audio in terms of their advanced techniques, their quality control, and frankly, their care of making a good product. Now that we've looked at the box, let's talk a little bit about the IEM itself. So this IEM is nice. So, I believe it's an aluminum shell. It's very high quality. And unlike the original Mangird tea, these fit my ears beautifully. They're comfortable. The size is nice, and the ergonomics are really well designed so that they stay in my ears comfortably and without thought. The faceplate is a purpley blue, sparkly thing with some silvery bits of snow floating to the bottom. It honestly looks like a snow globe that needs to be shaken up, but you can't shake these. And then Mangird is written in cursive across the thing. They're pretty. I wouldn't say that this style of glitzy is my favorite. I'm probably more like the simple, clean, maybe brutalist look of IEMs, like the Kiwi's Kanta that I just reviewed. That's a faceplate that I can really get into. These are just a little too blingy for me, but the shell is beautiful. And I have to say, I really love this cable. It comes with a silver and blue, I believe it's copper cable. And it's a nice weight and thickness. It feels super premium. Microphonics are low. I haven't measured this cable to see what the impedance is, but I'm guessing it's pretty good. The chin slider is a little loose. I'm a fan of chin sliders. I like them. This one slides a little bit too much for my taste. It comes with a 3.5 millimeter tip that, unlike some of the other The Audio products that tend to fall apart, this one actually unscrews and comes apart, and then you can put on the 4.4 millimeter tip. What I really love about this is how confidently this thing locks into place. I've had some of the other The Audio cables that just sort of snap into place come undone on me, and that's a real problem. This thing screws down nice and tight, and it's a nice design. I love it. It also comes with a little Velcro cable tie, which, maybe you don't really want this thing on all the time, but I find that I'm winding my IEMs up a lot and placing them in a container or in my pocket or something like that. So this cable tie is something that I actually use and appreciate. This is the 4.4 millimeter tip, that balance tip that the cable comes with. Oh, thank you, XENNS, for supplying a shirt clip. I love shirt clips. I use shirt clips on all of my IEMs. I can't tell you how many times I've been working. My job is a location audio mixer, and I'm running around and my IEM gets snagged on something, it gets ripped off my shirt and it hits the ground and it cracks, or I step on it. I've done that. I've done it with $1,500 custom IEMs, and it's sad. So I love a shirt clip. If you're active and on the go, use your shirt clips and appreciate the manufacturers that include them. I certainly do. It also comes with a little brush. It's got a nice kind of a little tab handle that you put your fingers on, I guess, and fairly strong bristles. You could probably clean out any earwax or dead skin or any gross stuff that's getting on your IEMs. Kind of a nice little tool. I tend to vacuum my IEMs on a semi-regular basis because they do get junk in them, especially when I'm doing active chores and stuff outside. Running, mowing the lawn, working around the house, whatever. But then the brush is a nice thing to have. Let's talk about the sound. The Tea Pros just stunned me when I put them in my ears and hit play on my iPhone. I'm just using a dongle, nothing special, and wow, the bass impact just hit me like a freight train, like just sinking into bass lusciousness. It has a It has a commanding thump. Its deep sub bass hits hard, but has nice decay. It's commanding, but it's not overpowering. And after listening for a few tracks, I'd say I kind of forgot about focusing on the bass, and I just found myself being really, really immersed in the music. And I think a big part of that is its commanding, yet not overpowering bass presence. I wouldn't call myself a bass head. I don't generally like IEMs that are really, really bass heavy. And I wouldn't call these necessarily bass heavy, but I would say that they are bass forward and in a really, really nice way. Across the board, these sound great. Vocals sound good. They sound natural. One thing that I did have a complaint about is I'd say upper register of female vocal range. It sounds veiled. It sounds like, I don't know, like you're listening through gauze or something. There's a veil to female vocals, especially higher register female vocals, that it just bothered me a little bit. And that's one of the few nitpicks that I have of this IEM. Lower register female vocals and male vocals sounded more transparent and more present. I would say that the high frequency response of these IEMs sounds technical, detailed, beautiful. Cymbal shimmer, breathy pops sound realistic and natural. A lot of those nuances that you hear as a musician is making a recording, things that, like maybe it's lips accidentally touching a microphone, or fingers on a bass guitar string, or maybe a drumstick hitting, a rim accidentally. Like, I noticed those things, and I rarely notice those in recordings, but those are things that I noticed with the XENNS Mangird Tea PRO. I liked hearing those little details. I think it's kind of fun. I think it brings you a little bit closer to the music. Sometimes maybe it had me feeling like I was a little too close to the music, listening a little too analytically. But overall, I find that level of detail retrieval is pretty phenomenal. They're a very, very good value. This is a set that I'll definitely use a lot. I'll use them doing chores. I'll use these listening critically to music a lot more than some other more expensive sets, because I do find their detail retrieval and separation is so good. These IEMs, as great as they are, they do have a little niggling flaw in my book that's sort of a raw, brutal, forceful presentation. There's a lack of delicate refinement that I tend to enjoy in some IEMs. The Sony M9 is, I would say, like, so refined that I feel like it's the equivalent of watching someone cut soap on Instagram. These are more like eating a really, really spicy salsa with a chip. It's that kind of a in your face, lively, but not refined. Maybe it's like driving a muscle car on a quarter-mile track. You smell the gasoline, you feel the engine pushing you into the back seat. It's fun, it's a little bit brutal, but it's not refined. They cross the line between being detail, spacious, and being a little bit forceful. So if you're looking for something that's lively and forceful and really demands that you pay attention to what you're hearing, this is a great set. If you're looking for something kick back, relax, maybe you wear them when you're falling asleep or you want to chill out, I'd probably pick something a little bit softer. But I love these. I'm going to keep using them. I'm going to use them a lot, frankly. They're probably going to last a long time. I hope you get a chance to try these XENNS Mangird Tea PROs. You can find them at linsoul.com, where I believe they have them in stock, and their return policy is good. So if you don't like them, you can send them back. But we'll be at the SoCal Can Jam in 2024. We'll also be at the Dallas Can Jam in November 2024. And of course, I think these XENNS Mangird Tea Pros have some staying power, so we'll have them around in 2025 as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, let us know in the comments. If you've tried the XENNS Mangird Tea Pro, let us know what you think in the comments. I'd be really curious to read and respond to what you think. This video is brought to you by Linsoul.com. Linsoul sells IEMs, headphones, amplifiers, digital to analog converters, cables, really just about anything you could want for personal hi-fi or even home hi-fi. Their prices are great, the quality is exceptional, and their customer service is really second to none. Check them out in the link below.